So I know our numbers are dwindling as we've been here for nearly 4 straight hours with really very little break. And it's not the way we like to do things. It's not good educational pedagogy, but we really needed to touch base on so many of the things that were presented today. And I really, like yesterday, thought every presentation today was just invaluable. I wish we'd had more time along the way to take questions and discuss these various initiatives, because each of the presentations could have really taken a couple hours for them to really have done their due justice. So I think I'd like to, in addition to saying thank you to everybody who's presented and attended over these last couple of days, I do want to open it up for any last questions or comments people have. And I would actually like to begin, if possible. I see a longtime friend and one of the wisest colleagues I've met in this work online, and she hasn't spoken yet today. And Karen Vanderven, I imagine I'm talking about you. So Dr. Karen Vanderven is here, former professor at the University of Pittsburgh, and someone who has schemed with me and Andy Schneider-Munoz over the years around youth development work. I just share a quick possibility development story with Karen. We might have been a little over age for this sort of activity, but Karen and I worked on an almost midnight basketball program together a number of years ago. And we became mutually impressed with one another's basketball skills, even though an outsider might not have been impressed with either. But Karen and I had a lot of fun, and I've learned a lot from her over the years. But Karen, any comments on what you heard over the last day or so? You're muted, Karen. Your mic is muted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mike, and through Andy and Mike, most of the extraordinary colleagues I was able to meet over the years. And that said, very sincerely, I think this is the most exciting thing I have learned in a long time. And I have taken about 20 pages of notes, which I will type up. And with your permission, at some point, I will write something about it for the online child and youth work network, which you and Andy are familiar with. But again, I think there is no more powerful concept than possibility. And in my earlier days, I studied chaos theory and, as I say, nonlinear dynamical systems theory. And I see a lot of the elements of that are going to be reinforcing this this magnificent global effort. And I'm sure it'll make a profound difference. So it's the most exciting thing I've heard in a long, long time. And I thank you all.
And saying something coming from you, Karen, and I see you haven't changed your ways, taking 20 pages of notes and publishing another article. So Karen has really been one of the most prolific thinkers and writers in the youth care world. So I appreciate your attendance, Karen. And Karen was also instrumental in the writing of the handbooks. She helped with a number of the chapters and made important contributions of her own. So Karen, thank you again.
Well, one more quick comment. All of that youth development also has great applications, I think, for those of us, and as I say, in our glorious golden years. I'm 84, and people don't think you can do anything anymore, and they don't try to involve you, and it doesn't get much better. So I'm looking for applications there. And
fantastic. We actually have done a little work in that area. One of our possibility counselors began doing therapy with a retired woman who really changed the direction of her thinking in her life from regret about things she hadn't done to the things that still await her, in her retirement years. So I think you make an important point there, Karen.
Good for her. Yeah, it sounds great. Anyway, thank you all, Mike and Andrews, and this was incredible for me.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from anyone else still on the call? If not, we will close. And is Liza still here? I see Liza's still here. Liza's done a lot of recent thinking with us, with our team. And I know from the comments she made today, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot for us to learn with respect to the connections between the funding world and the development of our own initiatives. So we talked about the individual initiatives, but also us as a collective. So I do look forward to staying connected with all of you. And I know Andrew Hill's assistance is going to be remarkably important as we develop our own platform. But thanks again for everybody. I know this was a heavy lift. It's tough to stay focused for this amount of time, but just want to say thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Mike. I just want to say something quickly. I mean, first I want to recognize Flavio. I think Flavio has been the catalyst, I think, for us over the past year. You know, Mike and I, Andy Danilchek, a number of us, we had some ideas, but Flavio has really helped us take this to the next level. So I just want to give a kudos and a tip of the hat to Flavio for his commitment and you know, inspirational catalyzing. And you know, be remiss without thanking Mike for forging ahead in this area, and you know, creating a space for all of us to think so much better about issues that, you know, maybe we've cared about for years, but this is just such a fruitful approach. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for your kind words. It's an honor to be partnering with you on this. I'm pretty happy. Thank you.
I think if anyone who saw Flavio's presentation this morning would understand how he catalyzed the movement forward. He has a lot of leadership understanding and a lot of charisma to go with it. So, Andrew, well said. I'm glad you made that acknowledgement. It's certainly true. All right, folks, any last words? If not, we'll sign off and we'll see each other the next time around.
Just want to say thanks, Mike and Andy and Flavio. This was phenomenal. I didn't take as many notes as Karen did, but it was a huge learning lesson for me. But thank you. Great job. I know this is no small task getting everyone together, even still virtually. Great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Jared.